Now, that has not at all changed the crisis that we're seeing with regard to the shortage and supply of silver in particular. Silver is not just your average metal. It's now been classified by our government to Department of Interior to be exact, to be a strategic metal. It's not a critical, it's a strategic metal that is needed for military, for computers, for AI. And no matter what happens with the price, there's still a shortage. And Comex is running out of silver in their vaults. And so I agree with you that this is a buying opportunity, but you also have to be strategic with how you're doing that.
What do you see happening with gold and silver right now? Why is it pulling back? And when you peel back the curtain with the banks and the futures trading, we see countries and institutions paying far more than the spot price on silver right now, contracts. Strip that down for us so our audience
Well,
understands what's happening.
now you're in my wheelhouse, John, because in
Good.
it was actually August 15th, 1982 is when I stepped foot on the trading floor in the World Trade Center, which was Comex, and I began
Yes.
my career in the precious metals trading pits, gold and silver in particular. We traded copper as well. But early on in my career, I had a front row seat to witness the pure and sheer manipulation of the metals market.
Hmm.
So what you're seeing on the way up was not a manipulation on the way up. That was just the shorts covering, because for the most part, the institutions are going to be short precious metals in an attempt to try to control commodity prices. Because if you can lean on gold and silver, you can pretty much keep all commodity prices at the lower levels, which helps keep inflation numbers in check. But when they started covering, especially JP Morgan and some of the other big houses, we had silver run up. It looked like it was going to $600 an ounce. You had all kinds of podcasters and vloggers talking about how it's going to 5,000 an ounce, and there you go. You got the emotional content charging the market. What we're seeing now is the reentry of the institutions to manipulate it lower. Now, that has not at all changed the crisis that we're seeing with regard to the shortage and supply of silver in particular. Silver is not just your average metal. It's now been classified by our government to Department of Interior to be exact, to be a strategic metal. It's not a critical, it's a strategic metal that is needed for military, for computers, for AI. And no matter what happens with the price, there's still a shortage. And Comex is running out of silver in their vaults. And so I agree with you that this is a buying opportunity, but you also have to be strategic with how you're doing that. Now, this is what I spend a lot of time teaching people how to accumulate silver by using the option markets. Now, we'll save that for another show perhaps, but how to use the option markets to not just get the silver in your hands or the ETF in your portfolio, but how to pull money from the market by selling other types of options to lower your cost basis. And for your viewers out there, without me going into a 20-minute presentation on how this strategy works, go search on YouTube or Google or Grok or any of the AI programs, research the wheel strategy, like the wheel on a car. Search and research the wheel strategy. And once you learn how to embrace that strategy, you're going to see a much different, I would say, approach to the market. You're not going to be stressed out. You're actually welcoming the markets to go a little bit lower before they go higher. So I trade the ETFs and I also accumulate the physical metals. So the physical metals that I accumulate, I don't ever sell. I just accumulate them for the estate, for the trust. But the ETFs I trade in and out of, and I'm having an absolute field day right now because of the added premium. Right now, the better buys, I think, and I even mentioned this to a group of our members in the last webinar we had this evening, that if you are looking at the mining stocks, I think those are better opportunities right now than the actual ETFs that cover the metals themselves, because silver is still at the elevated levels. You have to understand that we're still above what was the all-time high of silver of $50. So the profit margins for the miners are still elevated. So they're going to see increased earnings quarter after quarter. So if you're building a portfolio of precious metals and mining companies, I would look at the less expensive mining companies, even the copper miners. If I could so mention some ticker symbols for you, FCX, Freeport McMoran. These are not recommendations. These are just examples to look at. Like you said in the beginning with your disclaimer, we're not giving financial advice, but FCX is one I have my eye on. Pan American Silver, ticker symbol PAAS. You could look at AG. You could look at First. You could look at even IAU is a gold ETF. There's just a good handful of stocks, and I would not even shy away from that. It would just be very, very strategic and calculated. Well, you got to watch out for. I don't want to go off topic here. You got to watch out for SpaceX and the IPOs that are trying to come out with a big push, like OpenAI. I think those are going to be historic pump and dumps that are going to trap a lot of people, unfortunately, into that hype. And already people are losing money on SpaceX, and we're not even a week out, just barely a week after the IPO. So, yeah, there's a lot to unwrap there for sure, but lots of opportunity.
The global financial reset is underway and happening now. The battle rages on with competing parallel systems. The current deep state Federal Reserve Central Bank system and the system President Trump and team has developed. While the dawning of the golden age is upon us, we are presently in the danger zone through the reset transition.
Join me and my prominent guests every Wednesday live at 8:30 p.m. Eastern on JMC Broadcasting's backup Rumble channel on X, Facebook, and YouTube. Sign up for JMC's free weekly war report, including notifications of when the Global Financial Reset Show is published. The future is bright, and it belongs to us, not to the global elite.
Global Financial Reset. Only from JMC Broadcasting.